Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Stop watching porn, okay? It's one of the most disgusting, degenerate, demoralizing, deviant, destructive, demonic, dumb things you can possibly do. So if you're currently watching porn, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know, shame isn't always a good thing, not when you get it from like trauma and you feel it about things that you shouldn't really be ashamed of, but it's there for a reason. It's telling you you're doing wrong, you're not supposed to do this, you're disgusting. In the case of porn, that's true. So, you know, I can relate. It's tough if you were exposed to porn on the internet when you're like 12 and now you feel stuck. Absolutely, you couldn't help things playing out that way. That's this terrible, you know, degenerate society's fault. But now you know, and now you are degenerate and disgusting and should be ashamed if you keep doing this, and let the shame be the driver for you to change. But this video is going to be a little sort of essay or take on porn, sexuality, masturbation, all that in general. But also we're going to be talking a bit about NoFap and a less known concept that I've kind of coined that I call LoFap. So talking about this most unnatural of things, you know, jerking off to other people, you know, kind of having fake sex, pretend sex on a screen. I'm out here in the natural environment, obviously, for the contrast. Yeah, if you go bang your girl out in the woods, that's something I can get behind. But yes, so look, there's a reason all the major religions have these sort of same that we now would call like conservative or traditional traits, you know, no sex until marriage. We cover up, especially mostly the women, but even men are supposed to cover up, you know, some entering churches or religious buildings. And the reason for this is that like the promotion or just it being a thing in society, female nudity, male and promiscuity is associated with the downfall of societies, because you know, the sex drive, it's like the most animalistic drive we have as human beings. But human beings, we have the potential to be more. But so when we are like really controlled by, when we're, the sexual part of us is like overstimulated and this takes way too much space within us, we no longer, we fall away from God, we become the human animal instead of the human being. With us humans, love and sex is not supposed to be separated, and then when you do, you get more and more animalistic behaviors, because this will just, it demoralizes people on so many levels, even outside the sex thing, even if that's a huge thing as well, of course. But so, the porn is just next level with all of this, you know. Like there's a reason, you know. Think about it. Like, why is porn, why is it so easy to get access to? Why is it free? Why can even children do it so easily? Well, it is because it makes you a little bitch, a little slave consumer. But it's not just the porn, of course. The society is extremely sexualized in popular culture and all that. And this is something I've learned, as if you don't know, I'm a volcel since over 4 years now, so I've chosen to stay celibate and just intend on having sex with one more woman, you know, my life partner and hopefully future mother of my children. But so some things I picked up on when I go through this change of not just stop watching porn, but stop having just meaningless casual sex hookups like that, is that yes, the sex drive is strong, but it's not supposed to be that strong. It takes a lot of brainwashing to make people so hyper-focused on it. Of course, it's just the exposure of it that I talked about, the tradition, you know. Like if you just kind of keep nudity and stuff like that out of people's eyesight, they're just not going to be as obsessed with it. So there's of course stuff like this, but also when you're spammed from so much popular culture. I can remember, for instance, that when I watched American Pie, as a kid, I'm like 11 or something. I shouldn't have been watching that. But, you know, what I picked up on is like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to care about, you know, having sex, not creating meaningful relationships, being a good and strong man, husband, provider, father of children, you know, no, just sex for the sake of having sex. So it's not even supposed to be this strong. The sexual, it's supposed to be strong, but at the right times. It's not some people are supposed to be like obsessed about like that, but it will demoralize you so much. We're now going through the effects of porn. Like, first of all, if you, like, I'm talking mostly to guys, of course, but there are some women that have problems from this as well. Might get into that in a bit. But first, if you're like just mass watching porn, like many different chicks, you just get fucking fucked like this, you know. Like you're gonna get a warped view of both sex, but of women. You're gonna get a bad view of women. And I don't, of course, something like porn breeds more like offenders, rapists, pedophiles and stuff like this, but I'm not even talking just about that. Even you that think you're a nice guy, you know, you're gonna start looking at women less as people and more as sex objects, you know. I know this myself because I was one of these, that I would never like do anything, like violate any woman in any sense, but I know that I'm looking for sex from them, and that's kind of the way I view it, somewhere where I can get sex and I'm not really seeing a person. And you know, when you start just having that kind of view of people in general, of course it affects just how you are as a person overall. But then we also have, you're now getting used to getting off to watching other people on a screen, and this is something you do by yourself in your home. Like, this is, of course, it's just pathetic, first of all, like you're a cuck, basically. But this is going to also, you're gonna get, from seeing all this, this mechanical sex, it's all edited, it's perfect angles, all the people in the, you know, probably big dicks, you know, often muscular, the guys, but the technique all going on, you're gonna get such a warped view of what sex is really like, and you might get low confidence from this. And it's such huge dopamine. It will fry your reward system. You know, the hormone that goes up when you come is the same one as when you smoke a lot of weed, prolactin. That pretty much makes you just want to be like, don't do shit, you know. So you're gonna become just a more unproductive little human animal there from all of this. But also, like, you're both, if you actually hook up with a girl, you might just feel insecure and uncomfortable with the whole thing because you're used to this being aroused sitting by yourself watching a screen and stuff. So it might just be an unusual situation for you like that, and you have all these things you think you should live up to. But also, you know that this like porn-induced erectile dysfunction is a thing too. Like they have many different explanations for it, but I just think, you know, it's like you're so used to a completely different setting than this, that your body just doesn't respond the way it's supposed to. That's this extremely strong visual stimulation that you don't always have if you're actually about to have sex with a girl. I know I struggle with this. Like, sex becomes so, like when I was someone that kept hooking up, sometimes I had this issue, you know, and it becomes so manical, I mean, not mechanical, like you had to stare at her ass or something and touch yourself to get ready, something like that. Get an audience here when I'm talking about this kind of shit. But yeah, it's like just terrible effects all this has on you. You know, like you become a little cuck. That the reward system is fried, so you can't really, you know, it kills your drive all over in life. You get a warped just view of people, especially women, but of course it's going to affect how you see people in general in this, and there's just nothing good that comes from it. So it has to go. And look, let's come into the NoFap, LoFap thing. Is that this, when you are there, because it's a strong addiction, I've been there once myself. It's a long time ago now. I'm so glad to, when I just realized that it's not, I don't have to fight with anything like that. But if you have to, this might be when NoFap, because I'm a proponent of LoFap, and I'm going to tell you why and what I mean by that in a while. But, you know, just quitting cold turkey, that's probably the best thing you could, like, and just not even touching yourself at all for a long time. So you just desynthesize yourself from this habit, this missbruk, you know, this abuse of yourself, really. But I don't really think it's natural as a man. You know, the way I see it with the semen retention, I see it as kind of, you know, like a mana bar in a video game, that it keeps loading up. It's just that for us men, it's kind of like when it's full, it kind of still keeps loading up. So maybe you need to, you know, for myself, I know, like I'm a proponent of LoFap. Once per week, that's good. Just get it out of your system. Because what I've noticed is, as someone who's been volcel for over 4 years, and I can't quite remember, but I kind of had stopped watching porn before that, you know, and not doing this on a high frequency. But so, having done this for years, and then I tried complete NoFap for like a little over 2 months this summer, I couldn't really tell any big difference. And I'm sure some kind of complete NoFap fanatic is going to say that, you know, oh, you didn't go long enough or something, but I don't think so. I think it's a matter of like how often do you do, like, are you completely milk dry all the time? Because if you're just not degenerate about this, do it on a low frequency, you're never, you know, it's just the mana bar, you just, it goes down a little bit and it charges up. you know, you let a little bit out like that, because when it's so available to us, I just don't think it's natural to go forever without doing it. And to be honest, you can even make a case that it's like good, helpful, you know, to stay on the path with something like being a volcel, because of course I really want to be that. I'm a virgin at heart again, you know, and I don't want to give that away to anyone else than the woman I love and is supposed to be my partner like that, you know. But of course the little devil whispers in my ear like there are opportunities for this, and I mean I look good. I can make it happen if I want to, you know. So of course the devil has whispered in my ear many times, and then I think it's good to actually just be able to like pull a fucking fast one, because then now you're forgotten all about it, of course, right? So yeah, that's my whole point, that NoFap, I think when you've gone so long abusing yourself like this, it can be a good intervention. But then when just a sort of normal state of being is like, just get it over with once per week or something. And to say something about sex with this too, I think it's a little different, you know. Like, to be honest, I don't think couples should like completely abuse having sex. It's one thing if you're like newly together or, you know, newly married or whatever. I get it if you do a little bit more of that. But I don't think, like, you're not supposed to abuse it then either. Like, make it special. I don't think more than once per day on average is a good thing. But probably, you know, when we're talking about prolactin going up and stuff like that, probably that would happen from too much sex too. But I think if you, in a loving relationship, make love like that, I think the hormonal boost in other things, testosterone and that, I'm sure you're just giving each other, you know, of course, apart from just connecting, we're talking just spiritually like that, bonding as man and woman and that, I think there's actually physical benefits more from having sex than just this, you know, especially when watching porn. By the way, and how you do the masturbation when you're not watching porn, right? Like the exception would be, by the way, I think if couples, you know, they have pictures of each other and stuff like that, that kind of porn, I think it's the only acceptable one, because it's really just an extension of what that couple is doing together. It's just using modern technology for it, right? So that would be one thing. But if you're not there, you don't have it, you know, you just do it as fast as possible. Use your imagination, and really, if you have a woman you love, just think about her, because otherwise, really, you're cheating on her in the mental plane. You might not do it in the physical world, but you're cheating on her on the mental plane. So avoid that, you know. And if you don't have anything like that, I don't know, you know, you can use your imagination, but just get it over with quick. Don't make this whole routine like you do when you're sitting down lighting candles and going on Pornhub, you know, and looking through your favorite shit and just edging this shit for an hour or something. No, just get it over with. And to be honest, I think sex should be like that too. You know, not a race to the finish necessarily, but don't draw it out so much. Just give your woman some good lovemaking until it's done, and then you're happy. And she's happy too. She should be, because you're a big stud, you know. Okay, please leave a comment. What do you think about all of this? NoFap versus LoFap. Any other take you have on this subject, please let me know. I do coach guys on holistic bodybuilding, or of course reducing addictions and talking about these kinds of problematic behaviors we have and developing ourselves all over. It's holistic bodybuilding that I coach. So if you need a hand to remove your hand, you know, reach out. Instagram or email, it's all in the description below. Consider becoming a member of the channel, or otherwise supporting me. I very much appreciate it, also in the description. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It's a mindset, guys. Fuck the porn. Get rid of it forever. Okay? Peace.